What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're gonna love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
Do I sound fine? I just realized I didn't check to see if my microphone. Okay.
Yeah, you sound fine. Yeah, I haven't.
Okay.
I'm not complaining. What is this shortcut called that I have? Weekly news.
Yeah.
Here we go. There we go. All right.
All right.
All righty. Welcome everyone to this week's episode of the Underground Circuit. We are switching our topics this week. I'm going to give you a walkthrough of all the cleaning supplies that I have.
I was so confused.
We've got some cleaning vinegar. We've got Clorox toilet bowl cleaner. Windex. That is
It's some powder stuff.
Comet. Removes tough stains and it's scratch free. There's a defunct smoke alarm right there, so that's good.
Some paper towels.
Some paper towels.
And the lonely
My
stormtrooper.
stormtrooper helmet. And behind or right next to it, you can kind of see the top of it right now, is my Lego McLaren. And then all the way up top, you can't see it now that I'm pointing at it, is my steamer for when I steam my shirts and get the wrinkles out.
Yeah, that room's kind of just miscellaneous at the moment.
Yeah. So, my wife and I moved. We bought a house, which is great, which is awesome news. But we moved this past weekend. And we're in the midst of unpacking. You can see down there, we have a light. And right there is all of our important files. Yeah.
Your name's covering it.
Yes, my name is covering it. So, yeah, it's a little messy right now in this house. But I plan on adding some cool stuff soon. That wall in the background will be decorated with Formula One stuff as well, which is going to be nice to have that in the background.
It'll look perfect with the angle that you're sitting at right now.
It's going to look great. I'm very excited. This shelf is not the cleaning supply shelf. This will be something different. But yes. So on that brief note, just wanted to put that disclaimer out there now that everybody knows how I clean my house. Welcome to episode number 96.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine.
Welcome to episode number 96 of the Underground Circuit. If you are
96.
Here, nice, good guess, Owen. My name is Owen. That is my sister Casey. We meet weekly to discuss F1 news. We also are starting to talk about more IndyCar stuff. We're excited for that. We're going to IndyCar next weekend, which is a blast. I'm very excited for that. It'll be my first IndyCar race, and both of ours. Well, no, it'll be your third motorsporting event.
Yeah,
it'll be my second motorsport event.
Yeah.
So very excited about that. As always, please make sure to go follow us on our social media. You can find us on Instagram and Threads at Underground Circuit. I believe it's Underground_Circuit. I'm waiting for the name to kind of scroll back across the bottom.
It is.
It is Underground_Circuit, spelled exactly like how our show is named. And on Twitter and X over at UG Circuit Pod. So go make sure to follow us on our social media. We talk, all the time about everything happening in the motorsport world and whatnot. I've been quiet this past week just because it's been chaotic, but Casey's always on, always interacting with our wonderful community over, especially on Threads. The F1 Threads community is great, so go join that community. Today, we got a good one today. Pretty singular topic. But we'll cover, we'll do our news of the week. There hasn't been much.
No.
And then we are discussing today, this just aired about 2 hours ago, or 3 hours ago at this point, the F175 event where we watched all the car liveries come out. We have our personal rankings, so we'll go over them and we'll show them. So we're excited to talk about that. But after that, we'll close this out with some F1 threads.
Yeah, which is also about the F1 75 event. I just asked
Right.
people to see what their thoughts are, how they liked it, and everything. So
Right. So
we lucked out with recording on a Tuesday today.
We did luck out with recording on a Tuesday. It's nice.
And we didn't have to hold off on talking about it, so it worked
Yeah.
out. But first things first, meme of the week. And as you can think, it's going to be F1Threads or F175 themed.
Yes.
Owen, would you like to go first, since to share your screen?
Yeah. So mine isn't a picture. It's more so just the fact that it happened. It's the Gordon Ramsay cursing at the F175 event when he was being asked about the FIA's new rules and regulations in karting for cursing. So I enjoyed it, but I think it's a great answer. And hilarious that he was asked, just because he's obviously known for cursing a lot during like Hell's Kitchen and whatnot. But he gave a very real answer, which was nice, saying like, listen, yes, it is like broadcasted TV and everything, and you want to make it clean and viewable for everybody, but they are also adults. So it's, you get to a point where it's like, hey, if it's going to fly, it's going to fly. So I enjoyed it, but I thought the fact that he cursed during that answer, I thought was pretty good. So that's my
and I'm pretty sure the host said he was sitting with, I don't know if he was sitting with Stefano like at the same table as him, because he made a hint at like, you're sitting with the big wigs. So
he was sitting with somebody.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the perfect person to ask that question. My meme of the week is also F175. Let me play it. So it is the video with Charles and Lewis sitting at the table, and you see Charles on his phone. He puts his phone down, and you see that they're literally playing online chess on their phone while the event is going on. And like, I thought they were playing each other at one point, but then like Lewis looks over and gets so excited to see like whatever he's doing, and they're like watching. He's just like flat out watching. Obviously, he just made a bad move, Charles. Oh, maybe they are playing each other, because Lewis is covering his phone completely. So.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my meme of the week, because it's just like perfect, because people were cracking jokes, obviously, for days that like none of the drivers actually wanted to be there.
Nobody cared.
Max was gonna call in sick. But yeah, that was my meme of the week. It was too good to not use, and it's just there was also, it came out right before, I think, during one of the red carpet interviews with Charles. He said that they've been playing a lot of chess, him and Lewis. So the team bonding, the teammate,
it's happening.
Rivalry's already started. So but yeah, that was a meme week, nice and simple. Weekly news. Let me pull. Oh, did I just close that out?
Casey closed her notes.
Yeah, the notes, and I had the article up to talk about.
For the one piece of news that came out this week. That also
not even this week, today.
Okay, I was gonna say, didn't this come out today too?
Yeah, like not that it came out like during the buildup of, because there was every driver did a press conference today. Besides Ferrari was the only one, and they weren't mandatory. Ferrari was the only one that did not do the press conference because they are having their shakedown tomorrow morning. So all the press and stuff are probably going right to Maranello, and they're going to do the press there. So they saved them from doing that. But in the middle of all that madness is when this news broke. So I have it back up. This is coming from our good friend Mark Schofield's article. So today, let me bring it up. I literally had the perfect where I need to read it from. Excuse me. So today, the FIA's Formula One Commission held its first meeting of the 2025 season, ahead of the event today in London, obviously. Why not when everyone's there at one time?
Make it easy.
Get some business done. One of the biggest topics that was discussed, or the potential changes that was discussed, was an increase in a number of pit stops for the Monaco Grand Prix. It's noted in the post-meeting debrief that was posted by the FIA, which is, I do love that the FIA posts that online, so anyone can go on and see that information. It makes it more not personal, but like you're more connected, I feel like, to whatever changes that you can see. So In the post-meeting debrief, it says, with the aim of promoting better racing at the Monaco Grand Prix, the Commission discussed proposals for a Monaco-specific regulation. The Commission agreed to increase the number of mandatory pit stops in the race. They're going to have more discussions about this coming up, so it's not the last time we'll be talking about it, but I do think it's something that could work out. I think it maybe should happen.
Yeah, I mean, early thoughts is I agree with it. Monaco is a historic race and will always be on the F1 calendar. I don't think it's ever at risk of being lost. But
no, it's part of the Triple Crown. They're never taking away the Triple Crown. Right.
So but it's definitely gotten to the point where, you kind of go into it and you're like, all right, however they start is kind of however they'll end up, which is what makes watching qualifying for Monaco so much fun. It's so stressful and everything, and I appreciate that part of it, but I definitely think doing something to spice up the race is not a bad idea. A pit stop is an interesting way to do it, but I like it. Like I said, it's not 100% yes, it's not 100% no that it's how it's going to roll out, but it's definitely it's interesting. Switch it up, change up the sport. I'm all for it.
You know what I think, though? Because Monaco is so strategic, especially during qualifying, because you need that fastest time. And then I feel like it matters with the tires during the race on Sunday. So adding the pit stop, which comes into team strategy so much, just makes it more of a team strategy kind of a race than the driving skill, if that makes sense.
Definitely you have to plan it out so much more.
I mean, and we've all seen some pretty disastrous pit stops in Monaco. Not to talk about my fave, but there's 2022.
Yep, looking
at
you,
Ferrari. When they call Charles Leclerc in too early and Carlos is still in the pit stop, and that's the moment Charles lost the race. So, that could happen to anyone. I'm going to use your favorites now. Say Lando's in first. They call him in, and then they're not ready for him. His lead is gone because you can't overtake to get back to the top.
Nope.
It's over with. So it's such a more of a team strategy game when you add in the pit stop. Yeah, I'm happy with it. I think I can see them approving this one pretty quickly. So
at the minimum, what it does is it makes Monaco more interesting.
Yes.
Interesting from the sense of interesting in the sense of the scenarios that we just talked about could happen. Sure, as a Lando fan, I don't want it to happen to Lando, but if it happens, it makes the race a little bit more memorable. And instead of it being, Monaco's this snooze fest that is just qualifying and that's pretty much the whole weekend. And it's like, all right, it makes it a little bit more interesting. So, yeah, I agree with
and
it.
And then I don't know how fast, if they approve of it coming up, does it get put into place for this year Monaco? Or is it getting into place next year Monaco? Where you're also going to have smaller cars. So overtaking could come back into play. So then Monaco might be reborn pretty quickly. Revitalized pretty quickly.
Oh, I would love to know how much space you gain in between cars and next to cars, with the cars in 2026 being smaller.
Specifically in Monaco?
Yeah.
Monaco, Baku, and all those very small
all the street circuits that are tight.
But specifically Monaco, because it's so impossible.
I would love to know how much room you're gaining from the cars shrinking.
That has to be out there somewhere, but we could probably figure it out.
Somebody had to have done the math.
It's like when you watch Formula E in Monaco. Last year, it was like they had the most overtakes the entire season during Monaco. So, it can be done.
Right.
I remember watching it. They had too wide going through the hairpin turn. When in Monaco would that ever happen for Formula 1 this day and age? Never. But
F1 Threads, get on it.
Get on it.
Get on it.
That was really all the F1 weekly news this week. I know IndyCar has been having some of their testing, preseason testing. I think Pato was at top of the board yesterday. There's a lot of other cars are showing off their new liveries and stuff. So it will be exciting to see anything more. But like I said, we want to continue covering IndyCar news throughout the season. All right. The big chunk of the broadcast, right? The big chunk of the podcast today.
It's broadcast. It's a broadcast.
I think I have to take this away if I add the other screen.
Yeah.
F175. We are going to go through every single car or every single, obviously all 10 teams. We'll try and go in order, but I didn't upload in order, so I might have to go out and add more. But we'll go in order. Just go talk about them, recap them, everything from the presentation to the car livery, because it is a big difference between the two.
Oh yeah.
It matters more between there's a big. What the hell is my hair doing? Okay, never mind. All right, so up first, obviously it went in reverse championship order. So we started with Sauber, ended with McLaren. Okay. Overall, I want to start this though before we do this. Maybe I'll do this as blur, and I'll put the pictures in order. I do want to say there was a lot of people that were didn't really like the guy that was announced as the host or whatever, the musical things.
Yeah.
It was a great event from start to finish. I really enjoyed the event. The guy was hilarious. He was hilarious. I didn't really mind his jokes or whatever. What else? Didn't mind his jokes. I mean, his whole opening monologue was funny because, obviously, yes, all those things. It's always a little awkward making those.
Yeah.
Making those jokes, but at the same time, the Max joke, hilarious because everyone knew Max did not want to be there.
Yeah, it's definitely there's a little bit aspect of cringiness to it.
Yeah.
But it's I mean, what do you ask? He's making those jokes not for us watching internationally or watching online. He's making the jokes for the people in the crowd there. He's
yes
working the crowd. So it's
but someone even said the jokes were so good, for the fans that are online all the time or the people that pay attention to everything with F1 got the joke.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there was the Horner joke, and people were I don't want to speculate, but who was sitting in between Horner and his wife? They weren't sitting together.
Yeah, that is.
Obviously, there was Toto because of Lewis, so it was tasteful. And Machine Gun Kelly, I'm not the biggest fan of him, but starting him off was perfect. That was the perfect intro.
This is how disconnected I am. I did not know that was Machine Gun Kelly. And they started playing the song that he sang.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, isn't this a Machine Gun Kelly song? I'm like, this guy isn't Machine Gun. I'm like, all right, it's a cool cover band, sure.
And then
I zoom in a little bit more, and I'm and then I'm on threads too, and they're all wow, some people are starting off with MGK was a choice, and I'm like, oh, that is Machine.
He always has different color hair or whatever. So
yeah,
but
I'm like, oh, all right, cool.
No, it was and I even said the pace of it, because when we watch the FIA awards, they're slow.
Yeah,
and they draw out, and there's awkward pauses in between. It just was boom, 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 boom. One after the other, it was an hour and a half long. Perfect.
Yeah.
Literally perfect. Did not have to be any longer. But yes. Starting off, we'll get into it now. Starting off with Steak Sauber, aka Owen's favorite Ben 10 car. It's still Ben 10.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll just jump directly into my thoughts here with it.
It can't zoom anymore, so.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's great. I think the switch from the hard lines green to black and then having the fade green to black is so much better. I think the car itself looks so much more visually appealing and less abrasive on the eye when you're looking at it like this. Now, I know we said last year, when we saw it on track in Miami, it was all right, it looks so much better on track than it does in photos. I think it's going to be the same thing with this, but double. It's going to look even better in person.
I mean, even when it first came out during their presentation, I thought it was all green at first.
So did I. Yeah.
So when it's on track, because it's just the back, basically the back of the car is where it's black. When that's flying down the track, all you're gonna see is the green.
All you're gonna see.
And it's eye catching. Yeah, no, I really do like the ombre. The fade into the black is so nice. I do have to say, an overall theme, there was not a ton of carbon fiber this year, which you love to see.
You love to see it. You do love to see it.
You love to see it. Yeah, I mean, the green is so eye-catching. I kind of wish they could keep these colors next year when the team changes to Audi, but I know it's not going to happen.
No,
so
it's
we
not
have to
happen.
enjoy this one. And I also think starting off the entire thing with their presentation worked really, really well. That, like, drum line, the band.
Yeah.
Wasn't a little long, maybe, but perfect. Maybe. Perfect.
I thought it was nice. The presentation, I thought the same thing. I love the drum line. I like the touches, all the drumsticks were green and whatnot.
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious, and I posted this to that the first line in their presentation is like, it doesn't matter about last season. And I was like, great. Like, literally, like, sitting there watching it, like, chuckled to myself a little bit, because I was like, sure, guys, it doesn't matter about last, like, because they're immediately just like, let's forget about last season. It never even happened. Like, here we
forget about clean slate.
Yeah.
Go into the last year being known as Steak Sauber
right.
one last time.
So yeah, I thought it was great. Their presentation overall, I think it was really well done. It was a little, when you compare it to the other presentations, it was a little bland, because it was just like, here's this cool thing, then here's our car.
Yeah, and it wasn't. I mean, Nico, Gabrielle, and Mattia literally spoke 2 words.
Right.
And they were kicked off the stage. So, like, I feel like they spent so much on the drum, like, the band part of it, showing the car. Like, other teams spend more time with the drivers, speaking to the drivers. And I feel like that comes across a little bit better.
Yeah.
Or, like, how other teams did, like, the video montages and stuff. So, I feel there is definitely, starting off with the band, perfect move. Going from Machine Gun Kelly monologue right into this, great move. But yeah, it definitely fell a little short presentation wise.
Yeah.
But do you want to give a grading out of 10 for both?
Yes. So I wrote my rankings down for the livery and for the presentations. I rated Steak as number 5 in my livery rankings. It is kind of same thing. It's just like, it's a very simply done car, but it looks good. There are definitely worse cars than it. Like, there are definitely worse designs. I should stop saying cars, but I enjoy it. I think it's good. It's not my favorite. It's kind of just like, you guys did a good job. That's all we asked for. There you go.
That's all we asked for.
That's all we asked for. In terms of presentation, I hate to do this because they're kind of like, they were the first and everything. I could have been last for their presentation. The same, like, again, the same thing. It was kind of just like, here you go. Like, every other like video or presentation that came out had some, like, unique kind of factor on it.
Yeah.
Where it was like, which, like, the drum line was cool. I will say it was very cool, very neat to see. I'm sure there's some, at least I'm hoping, I haven't seen it yet online, where it's like, this is a drum line from so-and-so, and this is why we chose them and everything.
From somewhere,
Right. I would love to know more about that. But for right now, going off of my pure reaction to it, it's last, just because it's like, here you go. Like, that's it. So, yeah, that's there you go.
For me, I agree with the car ranking 5. Like, there's clearly better ones and there's worse ones for the car. So it's like the perfect middle ground. Presentation, I'm trying to think of the other ones. There are many other ones that I loved. I'm gonna put it as 3, because there are 2 I think that I disliked more.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll put it at 3. I'll put it. It's not my least favorite.
Wait. Your top 3, or are you saying
No, my
7?
bottom 3. Yeah, top. Yes, 7.
So you're saying
Sorry,
7. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
yes, 7. Yeah, no, I don't love it that much.
I was like, damn. All right.
No, not even 7th, 8th.
Oh yeah, 8. Okay. All right. 8.
But yes, that was Steak Kick Sauber, depending on where they're driving at the moment. Up next, Williams, or as we now know them as Atlassian Williams Racing. Car-wise, it's not my favorite livery from them. It's too simple.
I gotta be honest with you. I rated this last.
Did you?
Yeah. I think it's good. Like, I think it's a good I think it's good livery. We've talked about this before. I love the color blue on a car. I think it looks great. However, and I'm gonna have the same complaints that all the Ferrari fans did about the HP sponsor. But like that Atlassian on the back,
it ruins rear wings. The title sponsor ruins rear wings.
Oh, I'm not even talking about the rear wing. I'm talking about behind the Duracell placement.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. It's just like it's massive, and then like their presentation, like just like massive Atlassian logo, which is like fine. Williams, you got a massive title sponsor. That is great. That is a huge influx of cash for them. So it's absolutely understandable.
Oh,
and
huge.
And it's good, However, I just think it's too bland. Their livery.
They have beautiful liveries all the time, and I don't love it. I do like how it's two-toned with the blues, but like their blues are too close together for the ombre effect. Like it should be a little lighter at the end, or maybe even a little darker on the nose. Like it doesn't work like how Steaks was so different because it's two totally different colors. The blues are too close together. I mean, our Duracell battery, we're never losing that.
Never lose that.
And also, I don't know if you saw the overhead shot, like of the halo. There's also a little battery detail on the halo as well. Like part of it looks like the copper. But yeah, this one, I liked it at first, but then as the other ones kept coming out, I was like, okay, it's too simple.
I will say this. If you made the entire car the light blue that is on the back of it, on the rear of it, beautiful.
The light blue is where it's... Yeah. Well, we say this all the time. We're biased because we love like the baby blue within our like home sports teams, but they should stick because it's the blue and the orange. That's also their history. Like it just makes sense. It's not. I put them. They're 8th on my list for. There's 2 I dislike more. Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I know which one you dislike more, and I'm.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, I feel like I do. But yeah, I rated this 10th. I did put their presentation 6th, so it's above Sauber's. Now I just rewatched it. It is kind of the same thing that it's like here's this cool video, then here's our car. I do like, however, and a lot of teams did this, so I'll bring this up again. But like, I did like that it was this is our legacy video. These are our old. It bought into the theme of. The 75th year of F1, and here's his history behind the team or everything. I thought it was cool that it was up on a platform and it raised down. I don't know why nobody else decided to go with that. That was really cool to me. Shout out to them, and this is where they got a couple bonus points. They used the song "What's Up, Danger," which is from Into the Spider-Verse. So I was like,
"Oh, is it?"
Yeah, it's like the crux part of the movie. That song plays, and I was like. Great, you're using an awesome song.
Great song choice.
Right, you got a couple bonus points for that, but it feels like you had a great presentation. You had a good presentation to bring this car out, and then it was just like meh. Like, here's this blue car. Like,
I also have it above Sauber's at 7th. It was not my. I mean, calling James Vowles the Riz Master cracked me up.
Weird moment. This weird like James Val is like sexy thing.
Yeah,
is was a weird
symbol
running joke. Like, it would have been funnier if it was like if he ran with the coffee jokes more.
Yeah,
like that's what it would have been funnier. But yeah, the whole like James Val is a sex symbol, like weird concept. But
yeah, I was like, sure. That was where I was like, okay, this is cringy. But yeah, no, it's. They also Williams always has some decent special livery, so I'm not fully out on
I think like you said, if we get it, we talked about this last year too. If we get another Golf livery, that's that light blue, that's easily going to be my number one. But for right now, yes, this kind of just blue fade into another blue, kind of weak. If you did the light blue all over the car, I'd love it. I'd love it.
Yeah,
it'd be beautiful.
I do think. Wait, the one thing I did love about their presentation is how they had like the different voices from different like they had Claire Williams' voice come through. Obviously, it's easy to recognize her because it's the only woman, but like that really honed into like the heritage part of the video. Yeah, no, I like that one a lot. Okay, Williams next. These just Cap Ash Racing Bulls.
Clears. So many of the cars. Oh, it's so good.
It's so good. It is so good. I'm adding I know exactly where I want to put them now. So 1 second.
I want to rewatch their presentation too.
Okay, that's what I want to say. Okay. For them, presentation, they're third for me. I think they're my top 3. I don't want to like start talking about Red Bull because they both Red Bull and obviously Visa Cash App Racing Bulls kind of like to show off the Red Bull family or like the fan thing, but I think V-Carb does that so well, even with like activations that they have during race weekends. Like they had the car wash when they announced the Miami livery. Like they do it so well. So having them go out into the public and interview people and have them try and get like say what the name is to get it correct was so good. Also, that one girl, bring her back because she knew what she was talking about.
Oh, she was spot on.
She was spot on. She was so good that he just like stepped away. But yeah, I mean, it was such a good presentation, and the car livery for me, number 2.
It's number 2 for me as well.
Yeah,
it's number 2.
It's so good.
I love that we're getting a faux white Red Bull with it is what they're doing with it, and it's so good.
Yeah, well, everyone was like, V-Car brought back Red Bull's turkey livery from 2021. If you pull that up, it is a white livery, so it is a play on a Red Bull livery kind of. But it's just even like the back near the rear wing, like the fading and like the Red Bull logo, like the bulls like jumping out of the blue in the back.
It's such a beautiful touch, and it looks fantastic. I mean, like I say this, like I lean more towards like brighter colors when it comes to stuff like this. White is just clean, man. Yeah. It works. To me, it's so different than what would be normally done. So it's so eye-catching and it's so appealing. Sorry, I'm getting the hiccups now. Oh my god. I think it's great. I think it's love it. Their presentation, great. I might actually have to knock Williams down a spot because
for their presentation.
I did really like the fact that they were out in the public, like interviewing people and asking.
Yeah, it just made it more.
Yeah.
It like works for that. It works for the Red Bull brand that way because they are so like community driven Red Bull with like just in general like Red Bull everywhere. But yeah, it was so good. I was cracking up at Yuki's comment when like they show the car and he's like, I hope I just don't end up in the gravel because it's so clean.
It'll get so dirty. Yeah.
It'll get so dirty. But yeah, this one was very, very good. So yeah, I had 2 for car.
Yep.
3 for a presentation.
I
So
like it. Yeah, they're my second for the presentation too.
yeah. Okay, up next. Haas. This is a bad picture. I couldn't find a better one. It was like from their video.
Yeah, but it looks so good.
This leaked the other day. Did you happen to hear Ocon's comment?
No.
He was like, "Oh yeah," because I mean, no one caught it online the other day. They had a private shakedown yesterday, I think, or on Friday over the weekend, and a picture leaked, and like because it was private, they didn't invite press, so it was at Silverstone, so people just happened to see it and post it, and it was literally their livery.
Oh, that
but
sucks.
The picture was like far away, and the car was in the garage. So this one, it is okay, but yeah, it's so good. I'm kind of happy they went away from the red, white, and blue. We've had it so many years in a row now from them.
Yeah,
that's
a good point. I like that it's primary when that was bad. That was really bad.
You said web.
That was really bad. You know I'm immediately timestamping that. So.
Yeah, that's like.
I like that it's the red, black, and white.
Yeah.
It's giving like it. I don't know why, but I'm getting Spider-Man vibes when I see it. I don't know why.
Agree.
Because like white is not one of his primary colors, but like red and black is. So like I don't know what it is, but that's what I'm getting from it, and I really like it. I really enjoy it. I had these guys as my third favorite livery.
They're my fourth.
I just think it looks really. Again, it's the white in it, but I think the white and the black and the red, just like secondary tones in it, is just really visually well. It looks great.
It's a good contrast. It's a good contrast in between, and then like the red outlining between the black and the white just separates it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you've seen Ocon's helmet, but it's a red and black helmet like he always does, but he's finally within team colors that it works, so their race suits are all red and black.
Just
and his red and black helmet. It's the perfect combo. He's probably like, thank God. I'm surprised he didn't go full Spider-Man this year with the red and black, red and black helmet. But yeah, I had them. Cars, they're my fourth, so right above Sauber. And then presentation-wise, I put them right in the middle. They were pretty good. I do like how they had Kane Brown perform beforehand, and then he introduced the team being the only U.S. country singer that was invited to as a performer to the event, and then introducing them as America's team on the grid is perfect, especially with Mario Andretti in the crowd as another team's coming in next year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it was. They were fifth for me. It could have been a little bit better. It could have been not. I posted when V-Carb came out, I was like, the world's smallest team. And then when they came out, I reposted, I said, now the world's tallest team.
Now the world's tall, yeah.
Yeah, it just looks clean.
The one thing I'm really liking about it, because I'm like rewatching the reveal too, the Haas writing on the side in the black writing against the white looks great on it.
Mm-hmm.
It pops so well. And for a lot of teams, when they have their sponsor on the side pod placement right there, having your team name,
it
looks great. Yeah.
Yeah, it just works. And like they can still have it on their rear wing, and the rear wing being in red with the Haas in white. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, these red secondary lines across the entire car are gorgeous. They're so nice. Their race suits too look great.
I really like their entire theme for this year. It's really nice. But yeah, that was Haas. Moving on.
Good, Haas.
Moving on to, I'm gonna say right now, my number one car of the entire presentation, Alpine. Look at that.
That is wow. Okay, we did not have the same number one then. Listen, I will say this now because I made such a big stink about this last year. Alpine has, I think Alpine has
they've redeemed themselves.
Yeah.
Fully.
I think they heard our complaints last year and they were like, we need to add more fucking color into this car.
No, I was genuinely nervous before the car came out because I was like, they're going to play us again. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What is this car going to be? I was like, it's going to be all carbon fiber. And there's not a lick of carbon fiber on the car.
It just looks.
Like, not a ton. But it's also, like, that's such a good color combo because it is a lighter blue with the pink. It reminds me of Albon's helmet. Like, it works so well together. It's just perfect. I don't even have the overhead shot. Obviously, has more pink because the whole front wing or the whole nose is pink. But yeah, I mean, it just, and also like the pictures they released it with just make it look so much brighter compared to like Steak's photo is like the black backdrop or whatever. So it's just.
Even this photo that we're looking at here, like when I first saw this thing pull out onto the event, I thought where the blue is, it was like a purple. And I was like, oh, that looks really nice. But the fact that it's that bright blue, this looks good, man. This looks really good. I have these guys as my fourth favorite. I think it looks great. I'm not trying to take that away from it at all. I think the colors that we've seen so far with V-Carb and Haas are more appealing to me. I like them better personally. So having the pink and the blue strikes me less than the black and the red and the white does and all that stuff. But I think it still looks great. I mean, it's really, this is a car you're going to see on track and you're instantly going to know who it is, and there's no doubt about it, whatsoever. I would really be interested in seeing like how they can kind of play with this for like special liveries especially if they're trying to keep these colors. So very good.
I also was cracking up at how every other team wasn't wearing hats except for the two that shaved their head.
Of course. Yeah, they got to hide it,
But then he was asked flat out about their haircuts when they got onto the stage. I did genuinely love their presentation. I put them at second for presentation.
Really?
Yeah, well, that's first of all, it was Brian Tyler, if I'm saying his name correctly. The man is responsible for the modern F1 theme.
Fair, yes.
And it just was, I mean, it was good. Like, obviously it had their, like, tagline for this season throughout, like, the light show. It was simple, but it worked. It wasn't too long. It kept your attention. So, yeah, I put them at 2 for my presentation.
See, that's funny, because I said 9.
Interesting.
I didn't hate it. I don't want the number to be like misleading. I didn't hate it, but I thought that the broadcast, I think, did him a little dirty, Brian, because they come up with his name, Are We Dreaming? Which is fine. If that's the artist's name, then that's the artist's name. But to me, it hits different if you would have said Brian Taylor or Brian Tyler, whatever it is, composer of the F1 theme, versus Are We Dreaming? I would have been like, oh, this is great. Like, I didn't know I didn't know he was also a DJ. Like, that's great. So I think that rubbed me the wrong way about it. But kind of the same thing, similar to Stakes, where it was just kind of like, we're doing this cool thing, and then here's our car. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, I agree.
Yes, a lot of the teams did it, so like I can understand why it would be like repetitive, but like the whole like history legacy thing, that to me hit so much more watching those videos because of what it meant and because it's the 75th year. So it was just like, yeah, like any team that did that immediately was like one step above the rest, because I was like, cool, you're playing into the theme of the 75th, whereas
the 75th,
Steak and Alpine were just kind of like, here's these cool openers for us, and that's it. And it's like, all right. Like,
that's true, because especially, like, obviously, Alpine, Steak and stuff, they're not crazy old team-wise, but, like, even Haas, they talked about their history and how they've had all this like struggle and stuff, and this past year how it was a little bit better. So you could have made it work somehow.
Even if you don't have a lot of history, obviously the main theme of this is the legacy and the history of Formula One. So it's like, talk about your history a little bit, bring that up. So it's like, that's where it got me a little bit.
Yeah. No, I agree. Coming up next, Aston Martin. Two opposite ends of the spectrum for me on this list, I have to say. Why can't I zoom
struggling to zoom in there for a little bit?
It's because if it's on the thing where I can scroll, I can't zoom in, so I have to get the scroll to go away before I can zoom in. I'm gonna be dead honest. For their cars, they're not even last for me. They're seventh.
Okay.
Presentation-wise, first.
Yeah, they did. They're second in my presentation. And I love the fact that they leaned into like the James Bond thing.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's like, you think of James Bond, you think of those classic Aston Martins that he's driving in the movies.
Yeah, exactly.
So I love that they leaned into it. Seeing Fernando and Lance come out too in their suits, in their helmets, cool touch, sure.
Especially not on the like stage 2 at first, in the stands. Like that was like they went for a different aspect of like were they gonna show up. But then when it like the orchestra came out, I'm a sucker for it. Like,
yeah, you love an orchestra.
A live music like that, like an orchestra. And then when I think her name was Thames, when she started singing, it also just continued the James Bond feeling, because like there's always there's always the Bond song in every single movie that's like powerful about, and that's exactly, they kept it running the entire time. It just gives, I said this to someone earlier, I said it just gives like a luxurious vibe, if that makes sense.
It's a regal feeling.
Yes, it's just regal. I also think it's funny, like, people joke around that Lawrence Stroll could be, like, Mafia, so, like, could he be a Bond villain? Probably.
He 100% could be a Bond villain. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah. But, yeah, then when it comes to their livery, it's just, I mean, I can't tell you something that's different on this livery from last year.
No, the only thing that I can maybe piece together is, feel like it's gotten brighter.
Yeah, it does look a little brighter.
It does look like even a brighter green from last year, which, like, I know it was like the first year, or like 2 years ago, it was like a really dark green. And then last year we were like, oh, sweet, it's a brighter green. It's a little bit more noticeable. Now I'm like, wow, it's an even brighter green. I'm pretty sure.
This looks like a, like, it's not Eagles green, you know, not green, not like the midnight green.
Yeah,
Eagles.
it's not
like,
midnight
that weird
green.
Teal. It's like that weird teal green that the Eagles have. That's kind of what it's giving me. But yeah, it definitely looks brighter. But also now that I'm looking at it, what's it called? Behind their head, the vent or whatever. That wasn't silver before, I don't think.
No, it was not.
Must be a new sponsor that I haven't seen that they got or whatever. But
I like it. I think it's I like a simplistic, kind of stuff like that. Same kind of thing with like the white feeling. It's just like a clean, simple look. But they are ninth for me, this livery ranking. I think it's too similar to last year.
Yeah. They just, it was like the range of emotions or the spectrum, like we went through, like their opening, your presentation, and you're like, oh my god, this is beautiful. Like this is
great.
This is a production. And the car came out and I was like,
that's it. That's what we got.
Fernando has like kind of the same helmet. So it's like, they don't really change much.
You know what I would have loved to have seen, especially to play into the whole Bond aspect of it, is if you made the car a silver that the Aston Martins are in the Bond
that would have been nice.
If they made a car like silver like that, oof.
Yeah,
that would have been good. That would have been really good. But
and like for them too, it's not like they played. I mean, they're a newer team as well. When you think about it, I think someone posted like their 5th year as Aston Martin, and like they didn't play fully into the heritage, but they did with what the Aston Martin brand is known for.
Yes.
and it works out so
it
well.
Works. It works very
Yeah.
well. You think of an Aston Martin, you're thinking of a regal, luxurious car, like a luxury sports car, and it's like, yep, you played into that perfectly. You know,
no,
yeah, they were number 2 for my presentation.
They were number 1 for me. Up next, Mercedes. Now I have to say, I literally posted. I said, "What if Mercedes brings back the silver?" And then the car's rolling out, and Casper posted, "I have something to tell you." I said, "I promise I didn't know."
In case you've got inside sources.
I do have to say they're not. I don't have them up crazy high. Car rankings are 6 for me. Presentation wise, they're 9th. I thought the presentation was pretty weak for them.
We differed so much on that. So for car itself, I have them as 8th. Okay. Same thing. I think it's too similar to last year's.
There's just maybe a little more silver on it than before.
Right. I had them as 1st for presentation.
Ew, for real?
The only thing that I liked about it was that they leaned into the dream thing with if you have a dream to be a Formula 1 champion.
You mean Lewis's tagline?
Right. Well, that's what I kind of liked about it, because I was like, oh, this is good. They're going with Lewis's kind of thing, which is like, all right, that's a nice touch. They probably didn't mean it as a thing for Lewis, but it was still there. And I'm like, that's cool. They're playing into this team idea of, we are the team that you want to be a part of if you want to win, 7 world championships in a row. And they're leaning into this, like, we are the legacy team. We are the juggernaut team, and it's like, all right, yeah, I kind of like that. I will say the pit stop that they did,
cheesy,
weird.
Cheesy,
also,
cheesy.
I'm sorry, front right tire, they got stuck. Come on.
Was waiting to see if you brought it up. It was
so
bad. Like, who do they think they are? Sauber on the...
Yeah, get out of here. So I definitely...
That's how their practice, that's how their make-believe pit stop went.
Oh, God. That wasn't a real pit stop crew doing it. But now that I'm, talking out loud about it, I definitely could, swap, put Aston Martin in first, because I did really like Aston Martins. But I don't know. I liked the dreaminess behind the dream idea, so that's why I ranked them first. But yeah, if you're talking strictly just execution and what they did, sure, definitely lower down the list.
Yeah, now that you're saying the dream, it does make sense. You have this rookie coming in who's the next coming Lewis and Max Verstappen.
Right.
We're gonna watch his dream come true. So when you say it that way, it does make sense. But I like the tweet before we came on. Hold on, I want to look. Someone posted, it's a picture of Lewis and Charles. Yeah, I did. Lewis and Charles talking to each other backstage, and it says, and then they basically didn't feature me in their heritage montage. Bitch, I am the heritage.
I am the heritage.
But yes, Mercedes. Also, I give them an F for their social media posting of the car. This is the image they posted on. They didn't post a fancy video. They didn't post they literally collab posted with the F1 clip of them coming out onto the stage, and then one other thing. It was so bad. I literally was waiting.
Bad.
I was like, Mercedes, can you post your car? Because then I was gonna be out of order.
Yeah, post official images.
Yeah.
Of it, not just a picture from the event.
With the light, so you can't see half. It interrupts the design here. Yeah. I will give them that. Patronus might be the only logo you can get away with on that rear wing.
I like it.
I think it's the font. The font works for the rear wing pretty
it
perfectly.
Is noticeable enough, but it also blends in enough that it's all right, you can kind of forget about it. But yeah.
All right, next team, top 3. Red Bull. Red Bull. What? Now, okay, I have them last for both.
I have them 5th in presentation, and I have them 7th in livery design. Livery design, literally just because it's the same car that we've gotten for 3 years now.
Now that I'm seeing here, though, there is a little more red on the front nose, but it's literally the same.
It's literally the same car, which I'm not shocked about, just because Red Bull does tend to stick to what works. I will speak more on their presentation. I thought it was really well done. I really liked the aspect of it, of what I'm assuming is like big influencers in like the British car community. And the,
I didn't know if they were specific people or what, but
the fact that we got like short bits of all of them, and they all got shots like in their cars and whatnot and everything. I was like, all right, these have to be some like pretty big like car influencer people over there. Which again, same thing of what we talked about with V-Card. They went out into the community, did all the like. If I'm right in assuming this, I'm operating under that thought that I'm right in thinking that these are car influencers over in the UK. I think it's great. I think it's awesome that they did that. I think the fact that you have these heavily modified street cars in your Formula One presentation is awesome. And then you have all of them walk out with you as you.
Yeah, I did like that they joined them on stage. I did like they joined them on stage. I thought that was cool and different. Do you think if maybe you had like Lewis and someone else on stage with them walking out with that crowd, it might have been come across a little bit better? Like they would have played into the crowd behind them more maybe, but livery I can't speak much on. It's not my fave. I don't think at this point no one's expecting anything else to ever come different from them.
No.
Let's just pray they can maybe stick with their US contests again this year if they do it for the special liveries. But I do have to say their team kits though, I am a fan. At first,
they do look good. Yes.
When it leaked, I wasn't a fan of how it said Red Bull across the front of the polo, but they have the hats have like a red trim, and it is really, really nice. But yeah, I don't have much to say about Red Bull. I'm so sorry, I do not. But yes, moving on to my faves. Oh, Ferrari.
This is faves.
What are you laughing at?
Get me a poster of this fucking livery right now.
You love it that much.
Kizzy, this is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's third for me. It's third. Just because
this is number one for me.
Alpine and V-Carb, I like them a little bit more. But yeah, it's just...
This is... I said when we had talked about this, we talked about that they were teasing them in a different red, all this stuff. I said, give me Radiator Springs Lightning McQueen design, and they delivered with it. I personally think they delivered with it.
It's like this. It's like the special Radiator.
You got the deeper. You got the deeper red. Hold on. I'm gonna pull this up so we can see. Radiator Springs.
Yeah, it is really nice. I just also think like that the white in the middle along the back doesn't make the HP logo stand out so much because it's the HP logo on white instead of the HP logo on red. So like blends a little bit more. Are you adding it?
Come on.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's good.
Like even like if there's a shot from the movie like this. Like come on.
Yeah, that's pretty perfect actually.
Like look at that.
Yeah.
That's so good. I think it looks amazing. And it's like the fact that they nailed it so good with the white, dude. The white accents I love. I think they're great. This was number one to me. They were number 4 for me in presentation. I liked that they took the time to go through each of their like big. I'm like really blanking on a word here. Like legendary cars. You know, like the Ferraris that you think of in history.
When you think of
right. And it's like, I think it's great. I thought it was an awesome presentation. It leans even heavily more into that, legacy theme and everything. And the fact that they came out with this deeper red and the white accents on it, I love. I think it's great.
What makes me hope and pray they can get away with at some point? Just all white decals, the entire thing.
This would be the car that if they just flip the colors, I would
Oh
be
my god.
amazed. Amazed. Think about it.
That
The
would be
primary
so
color is
nice.
the white, and then you have the red accent marks. Oh, come
That would be
on.
so nice. No, that would be beautiful. Yeah, I do really, really like this one. The deeper red just works. We've had that same shade of red for so long
Yeah.
that the change of red, it kind of makes sense. So like with the changing with Lewis coming in, it's a new era within with
Absolutely.
Ferrari. Change up the red. Yeah, it's just
play into it. Actually,
yeah,
100% play into it.
Play into it. And we'll get to see their actual, like, obviously the car we're seeing right now with the livery on it, I think might be last year's. With like tomorrow, we'll see the legit car with this livery. I did like that Charles had no clue what it looked like. So when we found out, he found out.
Yeah.
He said Fred didn't want to show him, but yeah, no, it's really, really nice. And it's just today, I think seeing Lewis walk out on that stage at an official F1 event with Fred and Charles, I was like, holy shit, it's real.
It's real.
It's real.
Yeah.
It's real. And he was asked beforehand on the carpet, like, how has it been or whatever? And he was like, oh, I get to drive the new car tomorrow. And he literally was giddy with excitement. He's like, I am so ready. I'm so excited. But yeah, what did I put them? Oh, last two I could kind of interchange for presentation. I have them at 5.
Okay.
But they easily could switch with where McLaren is next.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Good job, Ferrari. You killed it. You killed it. Up next. I have to preface this, okay? Might be the most disappointing one.
Yeah. Yeah. It really is.
They hyped it up so much, first of all. Like, with what they were posting, like, the decoding of the, like...
Yeah.
Riddles on social media. They hyped it up so much. I was expecting something totally different, and it looks exactly the same.
I gotta say, I am very disappointed. And the only reason that I'm giving them this title, I gave them the title of this is the best of the worst when it comes to the liveries, is just because of McLaren. And I don't want to put them any lower. But it's
they're
tough.
9s for me.
It's tough to look at and to see that this is literally just the exact same design of the car that we got last year. Especially when we had designs like V-Carb and Ferrari and Alpine who really changed it up, and it worked so well that it's like, come on. Now, I know I did just see right before we started recording that they posted an article saying, like, why does the car look so similar to last year's, which I definitely do want to read. So, again, it's that thing of, like, you know, maybe there's a deeper reasoning behind it that I can get behind and appreciate and understand. But there's part of me that's just like, you gave us the same car. Like, it's just like...
That's just like, like I said, they hyped it up so much. And, like, now I go back when they were literally selling merch for the camo livery they had last week. I'm like, yeah, now I know why, because
you gave us
nothing. Yeah, you knew what was coming. Yeah, it just
give us the camo livery. I'll take that.
No, bring the camo livery back for a special one, please, or like a one-off. Yeah, no, it's definitely not my favorite. I mean, even their race suits aren't changing, but I had a feeling the race suits weren't changing because we've seen what the IndyCar and Formula E race suits were going to be, and they were exactly the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's not my fave.
So
presentation though, for them, that's what I'm saying. Them and Ferrari I could flip back and forth. I have them at 4th. So I think they went a little farther than Ferrari, which is why I have them higher on why I like them maybe. It's just a fact, like, when the camera cut to the real car sitting on the runway, I was like, oh my god, we're getting like a throwback championship livery on this McLaren. It got me excited. So I think seeing them, that's what, like, I got really excited, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm here for this. But yeah, that's the only thing that I think is winning them over.
I had them above Ferrari, so I have them also as 3rd for presentation. Same thing. I love their presentations are essentially the same. Here's this legacy. Here's all of our legendary cars throughout the years. Blah blah blah. All this stuff. When they jumped to the camera angle of the physical car sitting there, and then they were lighting up, and you were seeing the cars throughout the years, and they were showing short videos of all the cars and everything. I was like, oh my God, like this is awesome. This is what it's about. This is what this event is about right here. You know, this is us throughout the years, and these are the legendary moments that we have in our career, and this is what we're leading to. So I get it. You know, it presentation-wise, wonderful. Loved every second of it. Second that livery, though, the curtain came off of the livery, was very disappointed.
I literally was like, oh.
Yeah. So
I was like, we waited to the end for the championship winning car.
Yeah. To give us the same exact thing. So
I mean,
again, I have to read that article.
Side by side, the article I think goes through like tradition, like it talks about being traditional, like tradition and stuff within the team. But I need to look at a side by side. The numbers, like their driver numbers, are clearly different. But yeah, nah. I mean, I do like the race whose house is McLaren down the leg.
That is a nice touch. I do like that as well.
But yeah, no, they were not my fave, I have to say. Sorry, McLaren fans.
No, I was definitely really bummed out, you know, because it's like you get so excited, and you know, like Ferrari this year is a great example of it, because it's like it's your favorite team, and you just have, it's like you're always just more interested to see them. And then it's like, and I'm here for my favorite team. You know, I'm here because I'm interested in all the other cars and all the other liveries, but I'm really here for Ferrari. You know, and then it's like Ferrari drops that, and you're like, fuck. You're like, that's awesome. That is everything I hoped it to be. That's great. And then
McLaren comes.
Ah, shit. Like,
I also keep thinking, like, the people, like, the event started at like 9 p.m. or in the UK. People that waited till almost 11 to see McLaren's livery.
Yeah, I'd be so upset, man.
Basically the same. But yeah, no. It was definitely wild. Sorry, hold on. Text messages coming through. Before we go to F1 Threads, I just want to know, someone put it on Threads, I can't remember who, like, what would you, oh, it was Frey. Not who was it, it was Frey. Put, like, what she was looking for people's opinions. Would you have rather seen before the individual ones or this group thing? And I said, can you hear I need to turn on my do not disturb. I said I would have rather I enjoyed this more because it was back to back to back to back to back, when sometimes those car launch liveries, when they're individual, can be literally a 5-minute post on social media. Like, I don't need to watch an hour of interviews sometimes that are so awkward. So but I do see why people like them more individually. And I think Frey responded to me saying, like, because then those cars get, like, more time on the internet for people to, like, look them over and everything. This was so, like, one after the other after the other.
Right.
I think Tanya also had, maybe on her own post or phrase, saying, like, could easily see them making this something reoccurring every year, or not maybe every year, every other year, whatever, or every 5 years. And, like, they could easily bring this to America.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, they easily could. So, like, that's the only thing I could see them continuing with, keeping this kind of a format moving forward. So I was interested what you I
gotta say, I really enjoyed this. I think I don't know what it is, because we wait so long for new F1 content, and then it's like we're finally at the week of car releases. Like, yes, absolutely. And then it's like it's spread out over a week. So it's like, great. I want all of it now. It's like the
sometimes
part of
2 weeks. Yeah.
Right. So it's like having all the cars released now is like that quick, like, dopamine hit where it's like, oh, yes, like, you gave me what I wanted. You got all the cars out. I do love having them right after each other, because I can instantly just, like, compare and see how I feel. And it lends itself to more of a gut reaction of just like, I like that one better than I like this one, you know? Yeah. And it's like, okay, I feel like it's a little bit more raw in that sense. Whereas sometimes when you have the week between liveries, you're like, damn, like, that is that is good. And then it's like, you wait a week and then it's like, well, that sucks. You know, like, so it's just like, all right, but I think I really like this way. I would prefer if they do it this way. I understand the individualized sections and everything, but you're right. It does hurt a little bit when it's like, oh, I'm so excited for Ferrari's review. I'm so excited. I've waited so long, and then it's this 5-minute video on YouTube that you're just like, well, that's it, you know. And it's yeah. But I think,
And I feel like
they definitely can bring it to the States. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I feel like the timing of it too as well. Like obviously it was 3 p.m. for us, so it was 3 hours earlier for the West Coast, 9 p.m. for England, maybe a little bit later for Europe and stuff, but like it was 7 a.m. for Australia.
Right.
So you got such a good chunk of the world that being able to watch this huge event. I was gonna say something else. I can't remember, it blanked. About I was gonna say, because we literally have less than a week. This time next week, preseason testing will be on. So we don't have to wait forever.
Yeah.
We literally have next Tuesday preseason testing starts. So like we got all this now. There's such a hype. People are gonna be talking about it now for the next week.
Talking about it for weeks. Yep.
Especially if like Ferrari's having their shakedown tomorrow. I'm sure other teams are gonna be having their shakedown, and then we see cars on track next Tuesday.
Yep.
Like it's the perfect. Do we have to wait a little bit longer? Yeah, sure. But now we were fed today, and we're going to continue. Yep. We're not going to be like left alone now for a few weeks and be like, well, like sitting there twiddling our thumbs. Like we can continue on. But yeah, I wanted to hear your thoughts on that. Okay, mailbag, a little different this week. There really are no questions, except there was one question this morning from Jesse. But other than that, I just said we want to hear from you. What were your thoughts after the F175? Favorite reveal, favorite livery, thoughts in general. We got 13 replies. So we got a decent amount of people giving me their, and that's just on the one. I can go back to another one. Jesse's first question though this morning was, what would have been our pick as a musical performance?
Oh, that's a great question.
I have a good one for you, and if you don't say it, I feel like you're gonna be pissed.
I don't know. No. I don't know. What is it?
I'm thinking car related, because if you notice, every song today had to deal with cars.
Oh, are you thinking Rascal Flatts?
No, not Rascal Flatts. Yeah, the entire car soundtrack. They just come on and sing every song. Shaboom,
go ahead.
Everything. No, I was gonna say for you, 21 Pilots.
Oh, okay.
And Car Radio, because that one's just that's a good
song. That's a great song. I was gonna say 21 Pilots because they are fantastic live. They are so good live, and he sounds exactly like he does when you listen to it on any sort of streaming service or mastered record. But they're also just my favorite band, so I would say that. But if I had to choose one artist, I'm trying to think of like somebody else.
I have one, but a lot of people were saying it today.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say, just because of her new music right now, Tate McRae. I mean, she literally was teasing so hardcore that people thought Lando was going to be in her music video.
That's good.
So, and her newest song is called Fast Car, so it would have been like perfect person that's releasing new music. She's also is a great performer, like full on dancing and stuff. So I would say her. Maybe car soundtrack.
Like, car soundtrack would be good. Car soundtrack would be very good. Honestly, I don't know how many songs I have pertaining to cars, but I feel like Foo Fighters would be a good one.
Ooh.
Because it's like, they're old, like, it's gonna sound bad, but like, they're old enough that a lot of generations recognize their songs and can get excited by them. So I feel like if you had to pick like one artist just to do songs in between or something like that, like I feel like they would be good.
Yeah, that would have been good. You would get a lot of people that know, like older and younger, that would know their music.
Right. Like that's the thing. Like anybody, you ask anybody, and you say, "Do you recognize the song?" And you play "My Hero" by Foo Fighters. You're like, everybody's gonna be like, "Yeah, I know that song."
And
like,
not saying they're insane live, so
right. Even
so like, good live. Yeah, that would have been good. I
feel like that would have been a good one, but
yeah,
I like
that was
it.
a good question. Yeah,
I respect the 21 Pilots pick.
That was it. Literally, as I asked the question, it came to my mind. So I did not think of that earlier on.
I like it.
But yes. Okay, now people's thoughts. I'll just read some of these off. Someone said 1 hour would have been enough. I get it.
Yeah, fair.
Next, someone said my favorite part was Max's visible displeasure at having to attend such a frivolous event, and the sass when asked about the swearing rules. Love it, love him. Can't wait for him to clown in the FIA this year. Oh, we didn't even talk about the FIA being booed.
Oh yeah, great moment.
Great moment. And Christian Horner. Christian Horner couldn't even speak. He was so thrown off because he was booed so hard.
Yeah.
They said, but my favorite livery, V-Carb, the 2021 Turkish GP Red Bull livery is one of my absolute faves. It's so sexy. It was an amazing event. I really enjoyed it. It was better than I expected. Not perfect, but it went on quite well. And favorite livery might be surprisingly V-Carb. I didn't expect it. I don't think anyone expected it.
Yeah.
You also have to go back and look at V-Carb's posts during the event. They were live posting and rating everyone's liveries as they were coming up. They had some hilarious. The McLaren one was so funny.
Wait, I want to go back. I didn't see the McLaren one. I want to go back and look. I did see them like live posting it again, or during it, and I was like, "This is genius."
It says McLaren, you don't change the livery after winning a championship. Does this mean we can't change the V-Carb 03?
Oh my god.
Yeah, they had some good ones. What else? Too much filler, especially in the launches. No need for a musical interlude after a car reveal. Favorite livery has to be V-Carb. Overall, a nice tribute to F1, but needed to be shorter and tighter. Best part was everyone booing the FIA. Understand. So I said I have more thoughts later, I'm sure, but it delivered what it was meant to be, a show. I quite enjoyed it a lot for what it was. That's a perfect sentence to say.
Yeah, that's great.
It was a show. It was a show.
Yeah.
This one says Haas, just Haas, and Ferrari had the vibes too, but in my honest opinion, I loved Haas. They commented on another one of mine, and they're like, Haas, but I'm not biased. And their profile picture is Ocon and Ollie Bierman, so there's that.
Sounds like we're a little biased.
Yeah. Red Bull reveal was best, but they cut it so short and immediately went to Ferrari. It was a bit weird. I would have let the world champion talk for a second. That is true. They didn't really give... Like, I get it was the team reveal, but, like, they kind of glossed over Max winning again.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait to watch from home because I had work. Overly long and a bit clunky, but quite good for a first go. That is also a good way to say it because they can easily. There's obviously ways they can improve. I can see them improving this next year, making it quite enjoyable. I like the Ferrari livery. The old school maroon red is nice. I also think the way they placed the big HP logo dampens the blow on the rest of the livery. Like they said, okay, if you're going to be this loud, you're going to say it in this pen.
Yeah.
And apart from the cringe moments, I enjoyed it quite a lot. Favorite livery would be V-Carb, which was your favorite, but we obviously went through that. But yeah, that's just a few. I don't think... Oh, I just posted quick post thoughts, like pretty quickly. They're all kind of the same. But yeah, that was our... Like I said, not really questions this week, but more of...
Some good points. Some good points were made.
Some very good points. But yeah, like I said, it is their first year. They have plenty to improve on for next year. If they do it again next year, or if they do it like if it's an every 5-year thing, or if they don't do anything again until 100 years, we'll see. But yeah, that was pretty much our entire conversation. Do you have anything else you would like to add?
I got nothing.
Thank you. I'll close it out. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 96 of Underground Circuit. We will be back next week. Probably a shorter episode, but we will be previewing St. Pete IndyCar because it is the start of it is race week next weekend, people. with IndyCar's season opener in St. Petersburg, Florida. We will be there in person. I'm very, very excited. And then also we'll be able to talk a little bit about preseason as well. Preseason testing. I think this starts on Tuesday, right? Isn't it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? No, I'm blanking. Let me look.
I can tell you. I could tell you.
Yeah, 26th, 27th, 28th.
There we go.
So yes, thank you so much. As always, please give us a follow over on our socials at underground_circuit on Instagram and Threads, on Twitter or X at UG Circuit Pod. Please go give us a like, comment, subscribe, follow over on our YouTube, and also, which I keep meaning to add, or wherever you listen to your podcast channels, or yeah, wherever you listen to your podcast. It left my mind, and I was like, wait, did I just say that correctly? Yes, we'll be back next week with some. I guess we could do IndyCar predictions. We could.
We could do that. We could do some IndyCar.
We could do some
predictions.
IndyCar.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll be back. Thank you so much.
See you later, people.